Hello and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. And this week we're looking at routines and recurring areas of focus. In essence, what we're really looking at are those recurring tasks that really help us to automate our day when it comes to planning. And that's what we're going to look at this week. Now, before I go any further, I would just like to say, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's go into my Todoist, my demo account now, and I'm going to show you how you to set up recurring tasks in Todoist. Okay, now before we get started with this, we're going to look at the areas of focus. Now, where do your areas of focus come from? Now, if you need help with this, I have a free download from my website called the Areas of Focus Workbook. And it's got a number of sample sheets. It's got an explanation of what these are, which I'm not going to go into right now. But essentially, we've all got the same 8 areas of focus. We just have different priorities, and what they mean to us is always going to be different. Those 8 are family relationships, career and business, health, spirituality, personal development, life experiences and lifestyle, finances, and purpose in life. Now, ideally, what you want to do is to go through this workbook. These are all a load of samples for you, and right at the very back, you can create your own. Now, the point here is we have a statement. So I'm going to go and use the health and fitness one. So the statement has got to be something that inspires you. So I am fit and healthy and exercise regularly. I'm careful about what I eat and monitor my health frequently. I maintain my weight at round about 80 kilograms and my body fat percentage is less than 20%. Now, once you've done that, what you need to look at is what are the action steps that can help me to achieve this or maintain this. So I've got right here, exercise a minimum of 6 times per week, do 16/8 intermittent fasting, 5 days a week, drink lemon juice and take my vitamins and supplements every day. Now, a lot of these are not really something that I can move into Todoist, but this one here is kind of important. This one, to exercise a minimum of 6 times per week, is something that I can actually put into Todoist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I would do with this. So we're going to go into my Todoist here, and I'm going to go into my This Week folder. So if you're using the time sector system, your recurring areas of focus comes under the This Week project. What we do is we create a section. So I'm going to call this recurring areas of focus. And that's created, and that's created the task. And what I'm going to do is schedule next week's exercise plan. I'm going to do that every Saturday. Now, here's how we actually create a recurring task. I'm going to do EV, which stands for every, and SAT. You'll see that your date actually highlights. So I'm going to hit return on that. And you'll see now that I've got schedule next week's exercise plan tomorrow. And it comes up every Saturday, as you can see there. And that's it. That's all you need to do. So let's go back to the recurring areas of focus. I'm going to go, let's say, to my family and relationships. So I provide a loving and caring financial. So this is, again, what my meaning statement is, what it means to me. And I've got here, always be aware of the needs of those around me. That's not a task. I can't really create that in my task manager, but call my parents at least once a week to see if they need anything. This is something that is an actionable task. So again, I go to my recurring areas of focus and I'm going to add in call parents. And I'm going to do that every Saturday, which I actually do. This is my real one. This is how I do it. And I'm just going to add that task. And again, what you see is it comes up tomorrow and it's going to come up every Saturday. So that's the recurring areas of focus. That's the first part. The second part of recurring areas of focus is really understanding what your core work is. If you're a salesperson, for example, your core work is selling. If you're a teacher, your core work is teaching. If you are a doctor. Your core work is taking care of patients. Your work is not doing admin. That's just an additional thing, but it doesn't contribute to your work in the same way that making sales or teaching your students. So in my case, I look at myself now as a content creator. So one of the things that I have to do each week, which is part of my core work, is write my blog post. So write this week's blog post. That's part of my core work. It's something that I do every single week. Now, I write on a Monday. So I'm going to type in EVMON, which stands for every Monday. And that's now set up. So I've now got this set up. I also record my YouTube videos. So record YouTube videos. And that one I do every Friday. So every Friday. I don't have to worry about capitalization either. So that's going to come up every Friday. And let's look at another one that I have to do is write this. Write this week's newsletter. And I do that every Thursday, so every third. So this is how I set up my recurring areas of focus. So I've got a lot mixed it with personal and professional because these will just come up when they are due. I can show it or close it, and basically I keep it closed for the most part in my real account, but this is how you want to be setting those up. Now, what happens, say, if you've got a savings goal? So one of your goals is to save $1,000 per month. So send $1,000 to my savings account. Now, this is something you're going to do every month. So I'm going to do this EV because it's every, and I'm going to put 15. What that's going to do is it's going to create a recurring task that's going to come up on the 15th of every single month. That is going to make sure that I get my reminder every 15th to do that task. Now, another one that you may have is to review your productivity system, which is something I do. Now, this actually will go into my routines, which I'll show you in a moment. But that gives you an indication of how to set up those recurring tasks and what you want to be using recurring areas of focus. Now, the way I see recurring areas of focus is these are for the things that are truly important to you. They're about keeping your life in balance and also for your core work, the work that is truly important. Now, what about routines? Well, the first thing is we need to create a project for that. So I'm going to create a project, routines, and we're going to give that a color. I'm going to give that grape, whatever. And I prefer to see a list, but you can always use a board. So now I've got my routines. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section here. So I'm going to call this weekly. You don't have to do this, but I do like to separate it simply because when I do my reviews, I can just review the ones that are really important. So routines, what do I need to do? Well, one thing I always do is clear my action this day folder. And that's an email that I would do. That's something that I do every day. So there you go. It's set up every day. Add the task. Now, what about reviewing those systems? So let's, by the way, I'll just go into this because we need another section. We need to do the weekly ones. So let's do a weekly one. So weekly, and I'm going to do a monthly one. So let's do the monthly. Now, one thing here, something that I have to do every single year. I'm just trying to think of one. One I do every 3 years is renew my residency permit. Something that I have to do every 3 years, but let's just for argument's sake, I have to do it every year. And it has to be done on the 1st of August every year. Well, it has to be done on the 20th of August, but something like this, I need preparation time for. So I'm going to put every first AUG. Look what happens. This task now will come up on the 1st of August every year. So once it's in, I don't have to worry about it. And that's actually, by the way, how I use monthly goals, monthly tasks. Another one that you could put in here is review my productivity system every 3 months. I have to be able to every 3 months. There you go. And I can just hit that. And that's going to come up. So when I check that one off, That will now come up on the 18th of June next. So that's another one that you can do. Now let's have a look at a weekly one. I'm just going to do something about this one. So we'll go to the weekly one. And let's say you've got something to do 3 times every 2 weeks, for example. So let's go, I'm trying to think of something that I have to do every 2 weeks. Oh, let's say clean the windows. It's a routine. Clean the windows in the office. And we'll put that every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, hit return. That's going to come up today. Let's just check that one off for today. That's going to come up on the 1st of April, which will be in 2 weeks' time. So you get a good idea of how you can set up your tasks or your recurring tasks. And these are really for the routines. So routines are things that don't drive your life really forward. They're just things you have to do. Again, another one is clear out the garbage in the office. And I'm going to do that every Friday. So every Friday, that's what I will do. And so you can, the way I set this up is so that I got my weekly, my monthly, and my daily. I don't know why I'm calling this weekly. Let's just go into that and just change that to, this is daily. So these are the routines that just have to be done. And it wouldn't really be a big problem if I didn't update this, check it off every single day. The most important ones, to be honest, are my recurring areas of focus. These things are important, and they really do move my life forward, and they keep my areas of focus in balance and ensures that I follow my core work. And that's really important. But the routines, no, I don't worry too much about those because they can be done at any time. Hopefully, I mean, if I can't do, for example, if I can't clear my action this day folder today, it's no big deal. I can do that tomorrow. The world is not going to end if I don't do a routine. But these are the things that I want to be reminded of so that I don't forget to do them. Now, what you'll notice also is I don't keep my morning routines or my closing down routines in here simply because they're not really needed. My morning routines is automatic. I just do them. You may find it useful to have it in Todoist when you first start, but the idea with the morning routine is they become automatic, so you don't need the reminders. So there you go. Hopefully that's given you an idea of how to use the recurring areas of focus and the routines and the difference between the two, and also how to use the recurring dates. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.